This is a sequence of mindful movements which starts in a standing position and then comes down onto the floor on all fours. And the practice will last for about 20 minutes. So first of all, coming to your standing position, feet about hip width apart on the floor, toes facing forwards. Really getting a sense of the contact between the soles of your feet and the floor beneath you. Present to this body, being here, standing, open, present, alert. And aware of the height of the body going up. Standing tall, not stiff. Shoulders open wide, arms hanging softly by your sides. And as we begin this practice, just remembering to engage in the movements only insofar as feels right and safe for your body. And having the wisdom to adapt any particular movements or refrain from them altogether if that feels the wise course of action. And setting your intention right now just to be with your experience. As best you can, letting go of judgment and commentary. And bringing that attitude of kindly curiosity, a warmth to yourself, accepting yourself and your body and the sensations that show up for you simply for what they are in this moment. And we're just going to start with a few gentle twists, so just letting the body begin to swing from side to side. You may like to do this with eyes closed or eyes open. Letting your arms begin to just flop around the body as you turn at the hips and the waist and the shoulders. Letting the arms swing around so they gently slap against the sides of your body. Setting up a rhythm of movement. Perhaps aware of sensations of air against your arms or hands as the arms swing first to the left and then to the right. Perhaps aware of sensations in the hips as they gently twist from side to side, or in the torso. Perhaps experimenting with making the movements a little larger, letting the arms raise a little higher. And perhaps noticing a tendency to want to pull back, this has got enough, or to push on further, competing perhaps with yourself or some imagined other. As best you can, just letting all that go and simply being with the raw sensations. How does it feel? What sensations is calling to you as you just gently twist the body from one side to the other? Arms gently slapping the sides of the body. And then decreasing the movements and gradually coming back to stillness once more. Just noticing the breath coming and going. Perhaps it's a little more lively, having just exerted yourself a little. And then bringing your hands up to your hips, perhaps on the back of your hips. And we're just going to do some circling movements of the hips. So just a little as though you had a hula hoop that you were spinning around. You're just circling the hips quite slowly. To the left, to the back, to the right, forwards. So you're tracing a circle with your own hips, tracing a circle in the air. Bringing that curiosity to what's involved in doing this movement. What's happening in the knees, the ankles, different points on the back, the neck. Circling one way and then the other. Noticing again if there's a tendency to write a commentary, is this pleasant or unpleasant? Just letting that go, being with this body, making these circling movements of the hips. And then when you're ready, just coming back to stillness once more. Letting your arms drop down by your sides again. Now, tuning into the sensations of feet on the floor, feeling that contact. I'm just going to gently shift weight over to the left leg. And feel it lighten in the right leg. And then just lifting the right foot from the floor, so balancing on the left leg as best you can. Noticing any wobbles, anything your mind offers you about wobbles. And circling the right ankle, moving the foot around. Just noticing the way the arms automatically come out to help you balance. Circling the foot one way and then the other. Being with the experience of wobbling perhaps. Becoming curious about how this feels. And then returning the right foot to the floor. Shifting weight back to centre, letting the arms drop closer to your sides again. And repeating on the opposite side, so letting the weight drop down the right leg this time. First lightening and then lifting the left foot. Noticing how the body automatically lets the arms float out to help with balance. And circling the left foot. One way and then the other. And then returning the left foot to the floor. And now we're just going to stretch backwards a little, so taking great care with your back, just placing hands perhaps in the small of the back, the backs of the hips, and just very, very gently arching backwards a little, just noticing the centre of gravity. Arching the back backwards, stretching the front of the throat as the head tips backwards, taking great care with your neck and with your back. Just a very gentle backwards arch. Letting the knees soften and come forwards. Then up to upright again. And then going to a forward bend. So stretching the back in the opposite direction, just very, very slowly, letting your hands drop down towards the floor, letting your shoulders follow, your head just hanging loosely. Stretching out the back, perhaps feeling this in the backs of the legs. What's happening in the shoulders? Just letting the shoulders hang loose, just flopping forwards like a rag doll. No need to hold on to anything. Perhaps you might like to sway a little from side to side, just feeling these sensations. Being open to whatever
your experiences, just letting it unfold in this moment. No need to get anywhere, simply being with physical sensation. And then coming back up quite slowly, undoing the bend. Coming up to standing again. Back to your neutral position. Shoulders open wide, arms just hanging gently by your sides. And now we're going to come down onto all fours. So just in your mind's eye, working out what movements are involved in getting you down onto the floor. So we're going to come down to hands and knees on the floor. So fingers facing forwards, hands about shoulder width apart, and knees about hip width apart. So your lower legs just flat out behind you, toes pointing away from you. Nice flat back, head carrying on the line of the back. Feel like a flat tabletop. You might like to close your eyes just to tune into the sensations of what is it like being down here, having been standing for a while, just arriving in this posture. Now we're just going to do a little sequence of stretches with the back. So first of all, arching the back up, so tucking in the bottom and letting the head drop down, arching the back up like a frightened cat. Becoming aware of the detail of sensations, perhaps in the back of the neck, between the shoulder blades. Perhaps noticing a tendency to hold the breath, but letting it continue to flow. In breath and out breath. No need to hold on to anything. And then reversing the stretch. So bringing head and bottom up, letting the tummy travel down as the lower back arches downwards. Are there any areas of intensity calling to you? What's the detail of the sensation here? Can you just be with it, with that tender curiosity of, this is how it is. Breathing in your mind's eye to any areas of tightness. Then reversing the stretch once more, arching the back up, letting the head drop down, tucking the bottom in. And in your own time, just moving through these two stretches, so bringing the tummy down again, head and bottom up. Just experimenting with moving backwards and forwards. Perhaps notice anything your mind is offering you, perhaps questions about how long this will go on, or you like it or don't like it. As best you can, just watching those thoughts, noticing that's what's coming up for you and just letting them go, returning your attention simply to physical sensations. And then coming back once more to tabletop position. Flat back. And now we're going to do some balances. So now just inviting you to lift the right hand from the floor and just notice what shifts are involved in redistributing your weight to make that possible. Lifting the right hand from the floor and stretching it out in front of you so it's level with the body, parallel to the floor. And letting your gaze go along, perhaps to the fingertip or perhaps further ahead to help you with balance. And then lifting the left leg from the floor and pushing it out straight behind you, pushing the foot away from you. So you've got the left foot extended behind you, poised toes pointing away, and the right hand out in front of you. It's noticing a tendency to wobble, to tremble even, to shake. Noticing any areas of tightness, what's happening in the shoulders, perhaps the left thigh, the lower back. Breathing into any sensations of intensity. And then returning the left knee to the floor, the right hand to the floor. Coming back to your tabletop position, flat back. And then reversing the stretch on the opposite side. So this time lifting the left hand out in front of you, stretching the arm forwards. Letting the gaze travel out ahead of you, helping you with balance. Shifting the weight across so you can lift the right knee from the floor and extend the right foot all the way behind you. There's great length from the left fingers of the left hand to the toes of the right foot. It's being with the moment by moment sensations, perhaps as an awareness of temperature, as though warmth showing up for you. If there are any wobbles, how does this feel? Being with the fine detail, raw sensations. And then bringing the left hand back to the floor and the right knee. Back to the flat back tabletop position once more. Weight evenly spread between hands and knees. Lower legs and feet stretching away behind you. And then if you're comfy to do so, just transferring the weight backwards so you begin to sit back, bringing your bottom down towards your heels. You might like to leave the hands outstretched in front of you, or you might like to tuck them back, down by your sides, so the hands are down by your feet. And bringing your forehead down towards the floor, perhaps even resting it on the floor. Often referred to as child pose, so just letting go. Allowing yourself just to curl up in this position. Letting go of any tension in the shoulders, no need to hold on to anything, just curling up here. As we come towards the end of this sequence of mindful movements. You might like to just come up to kneeling upright. Noticing the breath coming and going once more. And opening to a sense of having completed this sequence of movements. And opening to whatever comes next for you. Having spent this time in mindful awareness, just being with your moment by moment experience of physical sensations. Bringing that same alert, open attention to whatever comes for you in the next moments of your day.